name is Jordan Roth, and this is my first speech for Communications 108. This is my audience, my father, mother, and my friend Josh, who will be the cameraman for today. So, on my informational topic, I will be talking about electronic cigarettes, or frequently known as vaporizers. In today's market, there's all different types of vaporizers that can be found in gas stations, mini marts, all the way to actual vaporizer and e-cigarette stores. I have two on hand here that are much more of the hobbyist types of vaporizers. These are much larger than most you will find in a gas station. So when talking about vaporizers, there's really only a few components to each vaporizer, as I'll show you fairly quickly. To begin with, all vaporizers require batteries. These are what's called 18560 batteries, and they are commonly used in different flashlights, as well as cameras. And now they've become frequently used in vaporizers because of their longevity and high voltage that they can emit. So the second portion of a vaporizer is what's called the mod, or modifier. This single piece is what utilizes those batteries and can send the charge into the e-cigarette portion. And these modifiers can range from $20 all the way to $150, just based on the different voltages and features that they offer. Some can even do what's called temp control, which controls the actual heat of a metallic coil within the vaporizer. So the next portion I'll talk about real quick is the tank. Now, not all vaporizers use a tank. Some that you can, like I mentioned before, that you can find at a gas station, those have everything contained all in one little piece that are frequently the size of cigarettes. And in that case, the vaporizer will already be charged with the e-liquid. That brings me to my next point. Inside this tank, you can see the e-liquid that drains inside of there. Now, how this actually works is the little rectangle pieces that you see in the side, inside the glass here. What's inside those rectangles is the cotton. The cotton wicks the e-juice, which is a combination of propylene glycol, vegetable glycerin, and potentially nicotine, if the user prefers that, as it can be used as a smoking cessation device, or it can actually have no nicotine at all, which is what I use. Then the last ingredient is the flavoring ingredients, and for the most part, those have been found to be non-toxic. In some cases, there have been incidents where people thought that a flavoring ingredient, specifically one called diacetyl, was toxic to the users because it has known to be toxic to those in the plants that manufacture it. The reason for this was that workers were actually being harmed by the powdered form of this chemical and not the liquid form of it. So what they had found is the liquid form is actually fairly safe. It does not carry the same medical consequences as the powdered form. Now, as I was explaining before, the cotton is inside what's called the coil. And inside this, now it may be a little hard to take apart at this moment, but it's cotton that surrounds a whole area, and within the center of the coil will actually be a metal coil. And this is the integral piece to making the vaporizer work. The current from the mod that I showed earlier is sent through that coil and back down through the mod. Just like any electrical device, you need a positive and negative terminal. And it heats up that coil due to the resistance of the coil, and essentially boils and vaporizes the liquid. So once you do that, you have a final product of vaporized propylene glycol and vegetable glycerin, and in my case, gummy bear flavoring. Oh, and of course have forgotten to turn this one on, but this one will work. And that is how vaporizers will work.